I'm getting older and it kind of sucks. I mean, I'm not that old. I'm just 31. Batman is 35, so there's still time. Seriously, if any of you guys have Joe Chill's contact information, my parents go to the matinee on Broad Street. Joe Chill is the guy that killed Thomas and Martha Wayne. Thomas and Martha Wayne are Batman's parents. I don't endorse patricide by any means. I just really, really want to be Batman. Every time I start bitching about the youth, I feel conflicted. I'm not so old that I don't remember people bitching about my generation. I feel like every generation has bitched about the previous one since time immemorial. There were probably cavemen saying,
"Ooga booga, these kids know no value of hard work. Back in my day, we moved rock uphill by hand. Now they just use wheel like lazy bum."
So, whenever I start to think of the youth of today, I remember back to what it was like being a young millennial. All of these Xers and boomers calling us snowflakes and wailing about participation trophies. But then I think about it a little bit more and I realize that they were right. Millennials are the fucking worst. A bunch of hipsters, the lot of us. We're in our 30s and are still quoting SpongeBob SquarePants. We identify by Harry Potter house. We still eat dinosaur-shaped chicky nuggies. Jesus Christ. So yeah, fuck the new generation. Gronk the caveman was right. Carry rock uphill by hand. No use wheel. The more I think about it, the more I can't wait to enter my angry old man phase. Start wearing suspenders and stop giving a shit about literally anything. Soon, the hour will be upon us. It will be my time to let loose my barbaric yop.
"Get off my lawn!"
That's just a joke. I'll never have a lawn. Housing's fucked and I'm poor. I think I have more interactions with the youth because I work with kids on a daily basis. Not in like an altruistic way or anything. I work at a restaurant. My life is shit. My boss just keeps hiring these teenagers because you can pay them below industry standard and they just don't know any better. But because of my unfortunate employment circumstance, I feel like I have at least a semi-unique insight into the minds of these little scamps. And if you had beheld the horrors such as I have, you would be reduced to a mountain of gibbering flesh due to the depravity of such things. These kids are into the worst aspects of my youth. For instance, the metal kids these days listen to Korn. That's the joke. They listen to Korn. If you're into metal and don't understand why listening to Korn is the joke, then you have become the joke.
The shitty lyrics.
One of the aforementioned Korn listener tours also collects CDs. It's like, I guess, a respectable enough hobby in sort of a hoarder type of way, but I can't help but feel it's just a little like record collecting, but worse. As someone who's not a particularly avid record collector, I've been told that the sound quality is a little bit higher because it's produced through an analog means or some such nonsense. I don't necessarily buy that hipster garbage, but at least it's something. With CDs, you don't even get that. You just get a hunk of plastic, wrapped in art, wrapped in another hunk of plastic. 2 out of 3 of those things are plastic. How does that make you cool? I will now posit why that individual thinks it makes them cool. It's the retro factor. Young people have always thought that enjoying things of a bygone era will make them cool. Allow me to let y'all in on a secret. It doesn't. The Beatles aren't profound or anything because they were around decades ago. They were shitty pop music then, and now they're just old shitty pop music. Now, back to the compact discourse. What this contemporary hip kid fails to realize is that, back in the day, we didn't even buy CDs. We stole that shit. Sure, if there was a band that we really liked, we would shell out our paltry paychecks in support of an artist we enjoy, but 90% of the tunes came straight from LimeWire or the Pirate Bay. We stole that shit and burned it onto CDs. So instead of having 2 hunks of plastic and 1 art, we had 1 hunk of plastic with that weird S thing drawn all over it in Sharpie. It's not even that I begrudge kids these days for enjoying things that came out when I was a kid. I just wish they would pick better things to enjoy. Instead of listening to Korn and collecting CDs, I wish they would engage in piracy and listen to leftover crack, that's all. Every generation has their good things and their dumb things. It's just a shame when the dumb things shine and the good things are forgotten. So, at the end of the day, Gronk the Caveman was half right and half wrong. Yes, use wheel. No carry uphill, but also fuck corn.